Well, it's a little bit after 6:30. I apologize for getting started a little bit later. I was actually having technical difficulties as well. So I'd like to go ahead and get started. Everybody see the PowerPoint and hear me okay?
This is great. 100% pure.
Perfect. So yeah, both you guys, it looks like Kayla and Tracy are both on. Just make sure to mute your microphone, and then you can mute it anytime I ask you a question, or if you have any thoughts, or if you guys have any questions. So this is tonight's agenda. Welcome to Module 5's live session. This is kind of the overview of what we are going to talk about tonight. We'll start out with introductions, 5 classroom expectations, important reminders, checking in just to see how you guys are doing. Course project, lesson 4 plan, part 4, learning styles and teaching strategies, and then we will talk about a case study, and then we will wrap it up with questions and answers. If you guys, since there's only 2 of you, it looks like tonight, if you guys have any questions, feel free to chime in at any time. And for some reason, if I cannot answer it at this moment, I will take your question down and answer it a little bit later on tonight via email. So, as most of you guys know, my name is Mike Hager, and I live in Colorado. Currently, we are having our second snowstorm in the last 2 days. It kind of cleared up the other day for a while, and now we're getting another 6 to 12 inches of snow, so that's fun. But anyways, yeah, I'm Mike. I live in Colorado. I'm education supervisor for a Head Start program. My favorite children's book, when I was a teacher, I liked Charlie the Caterpillar, book from the 90s. It's about a caterpillar who sets out to see the world and learns what true friendships means when nobody wants to play with them. I do really like this book because it does teach about emotions, friendships, and how it relates to real life situations with children. So yeah, now I would like you guys to participate, share your name, where you reside in, your favorite book, and why. If you are viewing this recording online, please answer those questions in paragraph format.
Okay, well, my name's Kayla. I work at a daycare here in Bismarck, North Dakota. I guess I don't have a favorite children's book that I can think of off the top of my head. But my toddlers really like The Hungry Caterpillar.
Remember that.
That's a good one.
George. Doesn't matter.
Thanks for sharing, Kayla. How about you, Tracy? Tracy, since there are only 2 of us, if you don't mind talking on unmuting your microphone and talking, would make it a little bit more engaging and lively. If you do hear some noise in the background, it's my daughter who's just waking up from a nap, and she is a cranky bear. So since it's a snowstorm, we wanted to make sure that we don't have my wife driving around while this is happening. So she's in the house with us.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, I never did a video like this. So my favorite book is Love You Forever. I don't know why, I just like how it keeps repeating itself, how as a baby gets older and grows into child, an adult, you're always saying I love you to the parents, and then how the parent at the end is taking care of the child is taking care of the parent at the end.
Nice. Tracy, where are you from?
Oh, sorry, Chicago, Illinois, the northwest suburbs.
Nice. What's the weather like there?
Right now, it's just really cold, but I think we're supposed to get hit with some snow and rain tonight and maybe tomorrow. So we'll see how Halloween is.
Yeah, it might be cold.
Yeah.
We'll be walking in a foot of snow probably here.
Yeah, I'll be sending my husband out with the kids.
Well, thanks for sharing. And welcome, guys. You guys don't mind muting your, yeah, there you go, background noise just so it cuts down on the sound. Just want to go over live classroom expectations, especially for the ones that are not here tonight. So basically, I wanted, if you're attending the live session, like I said, you're expected to engage with your instructor and your fellow students about the course concepts. If there's a lot of students, sometimes I like them to use the chat box, but if it's only two of us, it's a little bit easier for us to actually have a conversation between each other. Basically, if you cannot attend the live session, like I know a lot of you could not last week, video will be posted the next day, and then you must complete the live session quiz in order to earn credit, which basically everything is, you need to answer everything in paragraph format with any questions that I ask during the live session. So pretty straightforward. So the end of the class is approaching pretty quickly. So if the last day of class, I believe, is on November 5th, and I cannot accept any assignments after that for any reason. This week you guys have kind of a big course load. You have your Module 5 discussion responses and initial discussion posts that are due. Initial ones are due today, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then your responses are due on Saturday, November 2nd. The Module 5 course project, lesson plan part 4 is also due Sunday, November 3rd. And then with the Module 5 field experience report, that is due Sunday, November 3rd, you must complete all 30 hours of the field experience or you will not pass the class. So if you're having trouble doing that, reach out to me because you don't have much time left in order to complete that. Module 6 discussion is due the 5th. No responses to peers or myself are required. And then the field experience report is also due on the 5th of November. So checking in, how are things going with you guys as you guys approach the end of the course?
I'm doing okay except for the project.
Except for, can you say that again?
The course project.
Oh, the course project. And what are you struggling with, Kayla, in that?
Just putting in, like, just getting it more detailed.
Okay. And that is something I guess we will talk about a little bit later about the lesson 4 plan for the course project and what I'm looking for. Good thing about this is that you could always review this according to. There's a lot of information of how I want it for that. But if you have any really specific stuff about the template and what to put into the template, just reach out to me too, so I could look at what you have and I could see if you're going on the right path. How is everything else going? Do you guys know your grade? Any other key takeaways from the Part 4 module?
I'm really happy with my grade. But the module 4, is that the one with where we're adding on to like the lesson plan one?
Yes.
That we add every week? Okay. That one you commented in my thing about more community, outside community. Should I be continuing from where I left off or add something new to it and go from there?
That's a good question. So basically, what you want to do is you want to go through the feedback that I left you on your previous course project assignments, and then just make corrections and additions where I can't completely remember what I wrote to you because I don't have that in front of me, but like just make sure that you add or correct anything that I have. And then, you know, the one thing you could do is you could view my feedback on previous assignments by clicking on the My Grades tab on the left side menu of the course homepage.
Yeah, I've been doing that. Yeah, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, and you can also see additional notes by clicking on the rubric. You probably already know that.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm going to take you guys through a step-by-step of what I expect for the course project for the year lesson plan for. So hopefully there'll be a little bit more clarification to it.
Okay.
It might just not be specific to your actual lesson plan, but it's basically of what I'm looking for the whole class.
Okay, because yeah, it was pretty easy to do. It's just more if I just needed more. It said outside community you were looking at more, and I think I just did a lesson plan for like the classroom. So do they have to be this? Do they have to be the same thing, or can it be like two different things? You know, does it have to go with the lesson plan, your involvement for outside community, or does it have, or could it be something different?
So do you have like a lesson? I'm trying to remember. Do you have a lesson plan that's for outside? I guess I'm trying to understand.
No, I have mine for inside.
Okay.
So I didn't know if I needed to get like parents' involvement to do that same project inside the classroom, like and take it home and do something similar, or
maybe one or maybe a couple of them would be good. It'd be more of an addition to your lesson plan to further just to kind of drive it home. And so yeah.
Okay, I got it then.
Yeah. So it's more of an addition than a correction, if you will.
Okay.
All right, so I kind of went over what we were going to talk about for the course project plan part 4, but kind of a step-by-step of what I'm looking for with this. So you'll be completing your lesson plan that you have been working on all term. What you want to do is you want to open your Module 4 comprehensive lesson plan assignment, which this should already include the components from the Module 2, 3, and 4 lesson plan assignments. And then you want to begin by going through the feedback that I left you on your previous course project, so assignments, and then making corrections and additions like I was just explaining to Tracy where necessary. And then you can view my feedback on previous assignments by clicking on the My Grades tab on the left side menu of the course homepage, and then clicking on the assignment. You can also view in text notes by scrolling over the highlighted areas. You can see additional notes by clicking on the rubric too as well. Well, and then once you've made the necessary corrections, you can open the Module 5 Comprehensive Lesson Plan template, copy and paste the entire Module 5 template onto the bottom of your revised Module 4 Comprehensive Lesson Plan. And then you want to complete the Module 5 template and submit the assignment as one document. Then for additional resources or support on how to use copy and paste to create a lesson plan, you can view the short video available in this instruction for the assignment. And then, like I said, if you do encounter any problems as you complete this week's assignment, feel free to email me. So basically, you know, if whatever additions or corrections I wanted you to make for this next lesson plan, go ahead and take my feedback and plug that in and basically use that information to enhance your lesson plan when you submit your final lesson plan part 4. Does that make sense, ladies?
Yes.
All right. So, learning styles and teaching strategies. If you are viewing this online, please answer these 2 questions too as well. So last week in chapter 6, you read about different learning styles and teaching strategies. You know, learning styles are pretty much how individuals perceive and process information. There are 3 sensory channels most frequently used by individuals to take information: seeing, hearing, and touching. I wanted to look at them a little bit more in detail. So we'll start with visual learners. Basically, visual learners are learners that would be, you know, children in the classroom that would see the world by constructing or remembering mental images. Visual learners usually prefer reading, observing, and the display of data and visual aids. Visual students would rather learn by watching videos, film strips, pictures, and graphs, which help integrate the subject. And then when taking a test, a visual learner would do better on a test if the test had visual diagrams, etc. Students who show a preference for visual learning style and are given instruction with visual aids will perform better when given the appropriate materials. So that's a little bit about what visual learners and how they learn. In your classroom, I'm sure that you guys have a lot of these things like visual aids for students who learn that way. So yeah, that's a little bit about visuals. And then teaching strategies used for visual learners could also include role-playing, like I said, graphs and visual aids. And then some words that can be used to get the visual learners to pay more attention are see, look, imagine, observe, search, perceive, depending on what age they are. They may not know what that means. So, yeah. And then there is the auditory learner. That's people or children with an auditory and learning preference prefer sound and make better decisions on what they have heard or read. That auditory learners would prefer, they usually like lectures, seminars, discussions, and tapes. By letting auditory learners to listen to tape recordings, books on CD of material, they also more likely to ask questions about what they have learned and may not have understood. When taking a test, an auditory learner would do their best by being given an oral examination or playing games such as Simon Says. So that's a little bit about auditory learners. And then the last one is kinesthetic learners. Kinesthetic learners learn by preference, communicate with the environment by feeling and touching. Students who are considered to be a kinesthetic learner prefer to learn by doing. Kinesthetic learners prefer a trial and error method for learning. And then this type of learner would rather not learn by explanations, visual presentations, or discussions. Would rather learn by hands-on experience, which helps them create and develop what they have learned. By giving a test with task-oriented questions, a kinesthetic learner would have a better result at performing the task asked. So there are 3 learning styles which indicate an individual's preferable focus on different types of information and the way that they perceive information. Having an understanding of the learning style preferences of students and children can provide effective learning strategies for teachers to use. Students who share a learning style that is attuned with the teacher remember information longer and are more optimistic about learning. Often students will not do that well in school, and this is usually to the fact that they lack the ability to cope with various situations. Students not coping with various situations is one of the greatest challenges in education. So having said that, by using the individual specific learning styles in the classroom, teachers can promote problem-solving skills. And then by promoting problem-solving skills in the classroom, teachers are preparing the students for real-life situations. By making them aware of their specific learning styles, teachers can encourage them to realize the importance of appropriate learning styles for different disciplines or subjects, and that such style may hopefully be changed to suit changing learning situations. So I really wanted to go over this because there are different learning styles for all of us. Personally, I learn by doing. I'm more of a kinesthetic learner. I kind of go with visual too. I need to see it and do it kind of at the same time, or else I'm not going to remember it. I'm really bad at auditory learning, so if you ask me a question or something, say in this live session, I would actually have to write it down because I would forget, and yeah, I just probably would forget. So not very strong with that, but I do learn better by more of a hands-on. So Tracy, Kayla, if you are viewing this online, please answer these questions in paragraph format. How do you guys learn, and what strategies do you use to promote children's learning? I hope that you use all 3 of them.
I guess I'm a visual learner. And I guess I'm kind of a kinesthetic learner too. And then I use like flashcards, well, for the younger toddlers especially, so like flashcards of like their ABCs. Because I have a lot of them in there that learn more by seeing it than they do by hearing or doing.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you use visual aids too as well?
Well, we also have like the ABCs. Like we have a poster of some of the ABC, like the ABCs hung up in our room for them that they can see. And then their numbers, like from 1 to 10. We have a poster of those too.
Nice. Now in our classrooms, we have visuals of like the classroom roles. So we would have like listening ears. We would have ears that are listening. Stuff to that extent. So whenever there are problems and stuff, trying to revert right back to the rules of the classroom. and so the children are aware of the rules and they know the expectations and their boundaries. So that's some of the things with classroom rules. Also, you know, throughout the day, job helpers, different things like that that we use. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can use. But yeah, thanks for sharing, Kayla.
I'm more of a hands-on learner and visual. And I'm a lead teacher in my pre-K classroom. And we have, if we're doing like word cards, there's a picture with the word next to it so the kids can put the word with the picture. We use a lot of numbers, graphing. My kids learn a lot from like understanding better with graphing too. We have our rules up where it's the children, they're saying like walking feet, they're holding each other's hands, and I have pictures of them holding each other's hands and walking together, so that's a visual for them too.
That's great. That's great to hear that you have rules, and you know, having pictures. Is it the pictures of the actual children themselves, or just kind of
Yeah. Yeah, I use my rules are actually all the kids, all like, you know, if there's like a walking feet, it's the kids. We have quiet voices. We have putting their finger up to their mouth and quietly, and it's actually the kids in my classroom.
That's
and then
awesome.
they use, yeah, and then they have then I can use their handwriting to write out quiet voices. So it all goes together.
That's awesome that it's you're taking those pictures from your classroom and incorporating the kids that are actually in your classroom for the rules. It's really that's really great that you're doing that. I did that with my daughter here when we were going through a transition of I think I shared that with you guys. We're doing dinner table stuff, and she wasn't communicating completely, but by having those visual aids, it helped her understand what came next.
Yeah, it's very helpful, especially with kids. In my classroom, they, like I said, they learn very well. Like that, when you have the visual, so they understand what comes next in a routine and stuff like that. It helps out a lot, I believe.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And they like seeing their own pictures up around the classroom.
Yeah, I bet. I bet that's exciting for them. It's also you also made a good point too that you have names or another thing that you can do, and you probably already do it with the manipulatives that you have in each center. You probably have the picture on there.
Yeah.
Of where they belong. Yeah, and then the name.
Yeah, the labels. Yeah, the picture and then the label. If it's like glass, we have a picture of a black with the word black underneath it, and yeah.
That's great. That definitely teaches kids early literacy big time. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to move on to the last thing that we have tonight. It's the case study. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read it, listen to it, and if you're viewing this online, please read the case study and answer these questions. Tracy, Kayla, did you guys get a chance to read this at all? If not, it's not a big deal. You're not in trouble or anything. I could read it during this live session, and then we can answer these questions.
I didn't have a chance.
Amy?
No, I didn't have a chance either.
All right, no worries. I'm just going to, so, you know, there's a lot of good information from Chapter 8 with regards of families and communities from community outreach, parent conferences, collaboration with school districts for transition to kindergarten, parent night, volunteering, different family dynamics. There's just a lot of information. We also need to realize that it's the parents that are the child's first teachers, and ultimately they're the ones who are responsible for what children should know upon entering school. But as teachers, it is our responsibility to support them and be sensitive to the dynamics in their situation. So, having said that, I'm going to read this case study. It's about a teen mother and being single, and then we can answer these questions. That will pretty much complete our night. It's kind of long, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. It says, as I reflect back and move forward, there is no doubt that I was a troubled teen. On graduation from high school, I found out I was pregnant. What were my options? What would my life hold for my child and me? As a young Indigenous working class woman, I'd become another casualty of social inequities that would position my child to follow a path of poverty and disempowerment. Yes, I had a loving family, and yes, I had a personal drive, but I didn't have wealth, racial, or gender privilege. Because of my perseverance and familial love, I entered an urban community college. There I met a faculty member who helped me empower myself. Without his belief in me, may not have been able to believe in myself. My daughter was born at the end of my first year, and I was worried about how I would continue school and care for my newborn. My mentor encouraged me to bring her to school when my family was unable to help. He would watch her in his office as I attended class. I had an academic home. Not all my experiences were positive because I was a teenage mom and I was often talked down to, expected to do poorly academically, and it was assumed that I provided inadequate care for my child. For example, I was strongly encouraged by the college to attend parenting classes. Although I learned valuable information about the importance of play and had a wonderful opportunity to learn songs and games with my child, I also was positioned as the teenage mother, the at-risk parent. The educators failed to understand that my experiences gave me an incredible life tool. I was raised by a hardworking single mother and a loving family. My parental funds of knowledge came from a loving community that cherished each family as a sacred gift. We may have not always been lavish with extravagant gifts, but we were always immersed in love. In reflecting back, I realized how much I believe in the power of fierce hopefulness. Through mentorship and in love, for me, the stereotypical portrayals of a teen mom and social inequities were what could have been my roadblocks. So I urge all teachers and caregivers to examine their biases about teen moms and the social issues that impact the lives of young mothers. Every mom, as well as every child, deserves empowering spaces where they can succeed. Now, after listening to this case study, what are your guys' thoughts? And what can you do? What you can do is be positive and support and keep reaching out and provide assistance where needed. I really think that the mentor did a really good job and aiding and providing the support and resources for Kristen in the situation. Sometimes in life we do go through these roadblocks. You probably know some similar stories that are like this. For me, there's roadblocks like in marathons, it's hitting the wall and thinking you just want to give up. Her perseverance was really good, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. It's good to always have a positive morale support system to help you along the way, or kind of a cheerleader to help you out in your life's difficult circumstances and different situations. Having said that, what are your thoughts on the case study, and how does your program connect with families and communities? I know in our heads are, we do a lot of different things. I wrote a grant because we don't have transportation to and from our center, for parents who are struggling with transportation issues. I wrote a grant for them to get Lyft rides to and from our school so that they would not want to drop the program because of transportation issues. Because who does that hurt? It hurts the child. They won't be able to learn, and that shouldn't be something on them. It should be more on our education system. So I mean, that is one of the ways that recently that I have connected with families in our community by providing a service and writing a grant for a program for them to have that opportunity in case they don't have transportation issues. So yeah, I mean, how does your program connect with families and communities? There's a lot of things that you guys could do.
Okay, well, this isn't really something my program does, but more of something that I've done recently. We have a mom. She is a single parent, and she is she's always really concerned that when she leaves her children that she is like doing something wrong because, you know, she has to work to provide for them. So one of the things that I've done to just kind of is to just reassure her that like she can call us as many times as she wants. Like, she doesn't have to feel that we're not gonna like answer her questions. Also, when she like picks up, sometimes she'll just stand there and she'll tell us all the exciting things that they do, and it's just really, I think it's really nice and a good thing for her to have us there to kind of be like her cheerleader, because the rest of her family like lives so far away.
That's awesome.
It's nice for her to have somebody to listen at the end of the day.
That's awesome that you're that sounding board for her. It probably means a lot more to her than you probably know. And you know, they need, our parents do need caregivers and stuff that are very compassionate like that. And I really like that you shared that with us, Kayla. Thank you.
At our center, we have children with special needs or learning disabilities that go to an early childhood learning school on top of coming to the daycare. Our center and the school provides free bus service to come pick up kids, so the parents don't have to miss out of work with picking them up and bringing them back to the daycare. So we have that, and I also, when I do my parent conferences, if I feel a child needs extra special help with any kind of learning or speech, I do the research and I look into the school that's close to us that offers that, and I give them the location, the phone number to contact them so they can set up a free where they go and get tested.
Okay.
And then usually then that's, I mean, it's the same school pretty much, so they get the free service, the bus service, and all that too.
That's awesome that you guys have a free bus service for your child care center. I don't hear many people doing that. That's great.
Makes it easier on the parents, because I have a parents that ask, well, I can't, you know, get them here or there. I'm like, don't worry about it. This bus comes, picks them up, and brings them back, and then they're more on board of it, because then they're worried about, you know, missing time out of work.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. Kayla, I have one suggestion for you. You probably already do. No, sorry, Tracy. I'm gonna go back to Kayla real quick.
Okay.
One of the things that you could possibly do, and maybe you do it already, is I don't know that if you give pictures or send pictures to the parent throughout the day just of their child to show them what they're doing and how they're doing, just to alleviate that worry for the parent. That's one thing another additional thing, if you don't do it already, that you could do. Really does make the parents feel a little bit more at ease when they are at work. And as far as for you, Tracy, I like that your program has that bus service. That is great. And there is a lot of different things that you could do to connect with the families. For our program, it's like I said, we have so many different things. It's a little bit more overwhelming for me because I have to plan teachers to work those different extracurricular activities, and gets to be like a puzzle trying to do their time cards and stuff. But I think giving those opportunities for the parents to learn and feel valued and feel like their voice is being heard is huge, and it does go a long way. And having different services, transportation services, different things of how you communicate is a great way. The last thing I wanted to share too, what we do at the end of the year, we kind of throw a big celebration. Since we're in Adams County, the suburb north of Denver, like 500, 600,000 people. We throw this festival for not just Head Start, but for everybody in the community to come, where we have around 1,000 people that show up for this event, where there's free food. We raffle off a bunch of things, a bunch of items, Rockies tickets, just different things. Children get free books. There's hundreds of kids. It's just a great turnout. Kind of our end of the year festival for the program. So thanks, Kayla and Tracy, for sharing. Do you guys have any questions? And if you are viewing this online, feel free to ask any questions presented in the session, or course assignments, or anything else related to the course. You could give me you could email me, or you could text me. Sometimes a little quicker with text. If I'm not by my computer, I can text you and just let you know that I might not be at my computer, but I will get to you as soon as I am back on the computer. Having said that, do you guys have any other questions?
No, I'm good.
All right, hearing and seeing that there are no more questions, Kayla and Tracy, thank you for being at the live session. You guys will get 10 points. You don't have to do anything else. You'll get your points for the live session. And thanks for participating, and have a great night, ladies.